unlike other regions where there's not much in the way of coverage for it, unfortunately, which means that LOUID kind of walk in with nobody knowing what to do against them. But there's Coastline and Villa are 2 auto bans for this game. Where will we go to in this series? Kafe Dostoyevsky. Okay, a very technical map, to say the least. There's been a lot of different strategies on it, from more open walls, more reinforcements, more shields, more Goyo shields that we've been seeing recently as well with his introduction. So I think the ball is very much here to kind of be thrown around between the two teams. But if you're Elevate, you really want to surprise Liquid. But any surprise when it comes to what people think? No.
No. Not a chance of that. No, this is Liquid versus Elevate. So for those of you who are not familiar, I think this community poll really speaks for itself. We are talking about one of the titans of the Latin American region versus a new team that just came in. So there's not really a whole lot to talk about. There's also, I mean, if you're looking even at the leaderboard for LATAM, it's Liquid's in first. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, they're in first. There's FaZe Clan and INTZ. I think so far INTZ has definitely been the team that's been breaking through without really anybody noticing them. We'll see them later on today in their game against Black Dragons. Definitely something to look forward to. But here, Elevate, as you say, they're the team that just came in. Liquid are the standouts. They're the winners of BR6. They're the ones that went into OGA and demolished pretty much everybody on their way to that Grand Finals victory. So yeah, they're supposed to have an advantage, and there it is. Thatcher ban on Kafe Dostoyevsky. It seems like last season we would talk about Latin America banning Thatcher consistently. Now every other region started to do it.
Pretty much everyone's banning Thatcher, yeah. It's like it's a trend now. And it makes sense. Basically, what's going on with that is if you ban Thatcher, there are a lot of ops that are then enabled by his banning. So, for example, mute Mozzie combo is a thing. There's actually been a really big conversation amongst pros about the mute Mozzie combo situation. I know this is a bit of a sidestep, but as the ban phase plays out, but mute Mozzie, with Thatcher's not on the board, is so ruthless. It is impossibly difficult to deal with. I don't really have much else to say. There's been a lot of discussion about what to do to fix this. I think it was Pengu suggested the fix to Mozzie, or a fix to Mozzie where he can't pre-place his drones. That way it's no longer area denial for droning, but then it becomes like you can hack drones directly. My suggestion a while back was he can pre-place them, but his pests only destroy. They don't hack if you pre-place, and then they will hack if you target people. But the main thing that I'm trying to get at here is the mute Mozzie combo, or even just Mozzie by himself, is too much drone control at the competitive level.
Exactly.
It's just way too much. If you coordinate those pests and mute jammers well, it really messes you up as an attacker in terms of droning, and that's why you see the Thatcher ban be so prevalent. It's not the only reason, mind you, because banning Thatcher also really slows down hard destruction. There's so many layers to it. Thatcher enables almost everything on the attacking side when it comes to attack strategy.
Pretty much, and when it comes to the ability that the mute Mozzie combination really brings in for you is not just the fact that you are controlling those drones and taking them away from the attackers and being able to use at least one of them. This is usually what happens when one drone is captured and is used effectively until the end of the round by defenders, but also the threat of losing your drone to one of those pests is more than enough for an attacker to not run their drone in to clear even something as basic as white stairs, because there's a pest right around the corner, and if he goes around, he's gonna lose it.
Now we should note that there's no Mozzie being played in this round. It's a mute being brought. Similar effects as we talked about, but of course the pests are going to hack, the mutes are going to slow, but there's more mute jammers. The big thing though is usually the pests are more effective at stopping something from going through a drone hole, a doorway, but or a drone hole, really doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, no Mozzie being brought here. But yeah, the big thing is, honestly, I think that people would be okay with sacrificing their drones if it just destroyed when it was pre-placed.
Yeah.
So in my head, that might make sense. It would still hurt the drone economy, but I don't know, it wouldn't be as bad. Anyway, let's focus in on this. Lots of discussion could be had about that whole situation. PSK breaching open one of the windows into pillars. That's going to apply pressure to anyone on the defense who wants to rotate through 90 in the middle floor.
And it makes a lot of sense. This is a defense inside of instead of dining. And
mining
it's
and
not
dining, yeah.
Yeah, it's mining, dining. It's not our usual reading, but it's not like mining is a bad side. It's just reading affords you a lot more control if you're able to hold on to the cocktail bar upstairs. That's really the reasoning behind it. But here you bring the castle, the Goyo, and the Echo. There's a lot of utility, and it requires a lot of teamwork from Elevate's side.
Yeah, I think this kind of hold from Elevate is definitely different. What they're doing is an aggressive hold on Cigar, and they're using the Goyo shields to facilitate that. Goyo shields, castle barricades, and mute jammers. You got a lot of investment here from Elevate. And again, interesting is the word. I don't know if it's going to work for them. It seems like Liquid are doing a good job of picking it apart, as Nesk will eliminate Will. Pretty easy breach there onto the castle barricade, and then easy kill to follow it up.
Yep. And there's a mute dead, and that allows Sexy Cake to drop on down. The castle barricade's been taken away, as you said. You need to pressure the Echo that I believe is still in the cocktail bar right now, but there's a reinforced wall behind them, and I do hear a mute jammer next to it.
I'm really surprised, to be honest, that there wasn't an ADS to catch one of those Ash charges to protect the castle barricade. There was so much investment there. You would have thought that there would be one ADS and piano to prevent what just happened with the mute. I mean, there's a lot of time being wasted, so that's the one advantage gained from Elevate, but they're so close to Doom right now as Liquid is encroaching on the rest of these defenders upstairs. KDS trying to challenge from the pixel spot / white hallway. Dangerous position to play. Nobody watching white stairs, so Nesk will just walk on up, and he gets his free one as KDS attempts to drop. He is not Batman, and that's 2 for Nesk. 1 for Sexy Cake, and Elevate in a 2 versus 5 in the last 25 seconds.
Still doable with a Nitro Cell in the back pocket of Lenda. It just needs Liquid to actually get on the site. You hear the thermite charge go off, and was that actually placed on the floor and not on the hatch? Regardless, there's Nomad taken down. Hunter starting to play here. Same game that Liquid are going for. There's the Volcan. There's 2 from Hunter. This is actually happening right now from Elevate. Sexy Cake is going to try to plant, but he's going to get shot down. Lentil's the last man alive, and Nitro Cell just pins it all together. It actually worked. Liquid, too slow to enter the site and plant, and a Goyo shield preventing reinforcements.
So, off of a 4K from Hunter that we didn't get to see, but it looked pretty gruesome, Liquid will lose the round, Elevate will take it. Wow. I mean, yeah, there wasn't a lot of time left, but I really thought that Elevate was going to be able to, or was going to lose that. And I thought that Liquid was going to just lock it out. But no, Hunter stepped up and said no. The really impressive part about that, by the way, is that he did it with the UMP, the UMP, which is widely regarded as one of the worst guns in the game. So just, you know what? Can we get a clap in chat there for Hunter? 4K with an UMP, no less.
I mean, lives up to the name, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Impressive stuff, again. But, you know, I wish we got to see it. You can't catch them all, unfortunately. But there you go. It'll be a kitchen defense next. So not like the conventional site selection here from Elevate.
Yeah, usually be seeing bar first, then going to reading, and then to kitchen. However, in this case, they kind of went for mining in between. It worked out fine. It was really off of Elevate making mistakes and leaving holes in their play. So, for example, the ADS that you talked about, maybe having one in piano really hidden by the Christmas tree would help, or somewhere around that area. It would really help you to catch those Ash charges.
Slow it down, at least.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, you can still burn it.
And you, I mean, well, the thing is, like, if you hear your piano ADS getting burnt, then you run, and then you survive on your cross instead of dying on your cross as the mute. So there's choices being made there from Elevate. Hopefully they correct that mistake next time they try mining. I don't know if they'll use that exact strategy, as it really didn't work. They got lucky off of a 4K, to be honest. But who knows? Anything is possible. What I will say is that this kitchen defense right now, the way that they've set up is actually quite interesting, because there is a Thatcher Ben, right? And since Kali is not available, you're gonna have trouble getting through those walls as an attacker. But there's only a Kaid being brought from Elevate, not anyone else to deny those walls getting opened. So that means only 2 walls will be hard denied, and that's going to be probably the bakery and the freezer walls. But that's not everything. That means there's options for Liquid if they want to do some hard destruction on kitchen.
Yeah, what they need now is to take control of the top floor. So mining is pretty much their play, mining and train. You go in there, you take control of those areas, you destroy the floor. You should have breach charges. You see Moringa bringing the gridlock, so he does have that secondary shotgun to use. the utility's there.
Remember when I was talking about the mute? Rather, do you remember when I was talking about the mute Mozzie combo?
Yes.
The Gridlock Nomad combo kind of falls into the same realm. I know I bring it up a lot. But to be honest, it's vicious, man. Like, you can bring a Nomad and a Gridlock. You can lock up so much of the map's rotations. You know, obviously depending on the map, but it's gruesome to play against.
There's 3 staircases here. There's white, red, and brown.
Yeah.
And you can lock those down very easily with those 2 operators.
You could do it with one of them.
You could do it with one of them, exactly. But then you make it even worse because then you have redundancy for another operator.
Yeah.
Now, I like this from Elevate, is that they have a soft wall basically opened up.
It's a crossfire between Will and whoever's going to be playing in sight.
And there's an echo as well. So you can use that to support Will in this position. He has his smokes. A lot of times, those open walls scared the attackers, but also lulled them in the false sense of comfort.
This is a really well-established shield, too. Look at the way he's got some space to work with his shotgun here, or he can peek it with the SMG-11. He's got choices. And again, the support there is going to be coming from Hunter, who's playing by the freezer window, I believe. Palu will get Hunter, actually, so there's the support gone. And that nade or impact is going to destroy the first gas canister, forcing Will to use his second. But a rush from Palu will get Will before KDS can refrag. So Team Liquid using their manpower to great effect. There's a rush in from Nesk. Since the wall's open, he could do that easily. Long angle from Souls, and he's trying to get a kill, but will he be able to deny the plant? The answer is yes. No! Oh, in the nick of time! And Liquid will win the round off of that. I was wrong, called it too soon there, but it looked almost like Will was going to be able to save that round. We've seen so many last-second yokai hits that will salvage rounds, and it almost felt like one from Elevate, but not quite. Liquid managed it in the end.
Close to it there. Liquid.
So close.
It really was. It was close to turning into the same craziness that happened in round number 1, but with this site done, it looked like there were a lot of holes, literally, in Elevate's strategy. They're going to go for bar, so not going for the same set again, or going over to reading and dining, which is a lot of teams' secondary site on this map. After bar, there's the Thermite brought in play, so bar is expected. Thermite, great operator here, because what's your mindset as an attacking team? Basically breach into piano, breach from piano into the freezer, and then plant wherever is possible. The echo has been foregone to make way for that Valkyrie. There's the Cotton and the Mute, but it's still no Mute Mozzie combination, which is like...
I mean, they're bringing the Mute. With the Thatcher ban, you know, that's still very useful.
Pretty good.
Yeah. You don't have to bring both. Liquid are bringing both. They're bringing the Nomad Gridlock, but you don't have to as a team. You know, when you as we continue have combinations of operators like Nomad and Gridlock and Mute and Mozzie that mesh so well with each other, it will bring up over and over again the conversation regarding increasing the bans.
That's true.
Because that is an ongoing thing.
Oh, I can't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I can't wait for Wamai and Jaeger then.
Yeah, well, Wamai and yeah, that's true. That's a lot of throwables and projectiles being stopped. But the interesting thing is, like, how do you actually do that, right? Because if you're going to increase the bans, what do? You just add 2 more bans? Well, that means one team gets to attack a defender, and the other gets to attack an attacker extra. So you can't do that, so we have to double the bans. Well, that's a lot. That's 8 banned operators. We can't do that because we don't have a wide enough operator pool. So how, where, you know, when? We're going to change the rules? It's I'm sure an ongoing conversation, and I wonder if we're ever going to have a real answer to that one.
I'm sure the pros have these conversations in between them constantly to see maybe in the future we'll have changes as the roster here of Team Rainbow expands.
They're going for 100 operators, right? So
yeah.
And then what after that? Probably even more, I imagine. They won't stop. Well, who knows?
As long as Pro League exists, that's good for us.
Yeah.
But there's PSK. Oddly enough, he's running the AUG, which has definitely fallen out of favor, especially with how the G8 is now. It's like, well, why even use the AUG in this case?
Angled G8, it's the only answer.
Well, there's Lenda. He's going to grab the first one on Nesk, who's been instrumental in Liquid's pursuit of victory here as he's basically been the spearhead every single time.
Yeah, Neska's been really good on the entry, so losing him is going to hurt Liquid. I should also note that the attacks have been excruciatingly slow from Liquid, and without your 3-speed Ashe, who is able to really punch his way into the site of, Nesk, it's going to get even slower. And it actually might be the case that Liquid loses on time alone. We've come close to that several times, even that last round. Moringa will get Lenda, so it's not over for Liquid. There's also some players on Elevate who are on low HP, so this is very possible for either team, to be honest. Lots of angles being played from Liquid. They haven't really managed to work their way into Piano just yet, and with only 45 seconds, that's not a good sign. Does not bode well. But this does. Palu getting Hunter. A few kills going both ways, and we end into a 2-on-1 as Will gets his second pump into PSK. Thinking with the SMG-11 now, he's got the shield to support him. Luckily for Will, it's not a Goyo. Moringa will drop, but I don't think it was, yeah, it was not on purpose. So that was a mistake drop from Moringa, and it might cost him the round as he attempts to push up the red stairs, shotgun in hand. He will actually win the fight against Will. That's that 3 armor advantage, I suppose, and Souls will get the final kill. So Elevate take the round, but that was a close one.
Really was a close one, and you see even Souls had the perfect angle through Cigar. For people that don't know, the actual Cigar holding, there's a certain name for what it is, like
the humidor?
Parker said it a couple of days
Humidor?
ago. Yeah, something like a humidor. Yeah,
I think it's humidor.
Something very bougie, but it's humidor, I believe. And you can shoot through the pieces of wood that make part of the wall, and that's a long angle that you can use.
You could use it from the back bar storage. You could use it from cocktail, like by the big bar. I would actually, there's no real angle. There is, I think, because if you get boosted on one of the small bars in cocktail, you might be able to see it. Well, just on the edge. They changed it recently. They added some pillars in there, so it's not fully penetrable. Like parts of it can't be shot through. But like, that was in the rework.
There's a few parts of the wall where like there's a couple of support beams that go through it, and then there's kind of softness that you can destroy in the center.
Yeah.
It's mushy on the inside.
There's this really nasty play that you can set up. If you're a ranked player, here's some advice. You can set up a few bullet holes on the far right. If you're inside the humidor, you could set up bullet holes on the far right side that will see anybody who drops top red, and then you can play between that angle, the doorway to the humidor, which sees into top red as well, and then you can also rotate using the Cigar door to the top of, to the new drop-down balcony. So you have like a 3-angle play there which can address pretty much everything. The only thing is, if you do that, my advice is when you come out of Cigar through the doorway, make sure to check Skylight, because there's an angle that they can hold you on that door from. So be very careful if you actually want to fall back that way. If you can't fall back that way, you think someone's on Skylight, use Piano. And if you can't use Piano, then you're pretty much trapped. But that's the position you're playing. You're playing one of those kinds of exposed spots that might lend you in that spot. Anyway, so Elevate up 2-1 right now over Team Liquid. And this is looking like a pretty good match for Elevate, gotta say. I think a lot of people expect Liquid to take this one. We did have the community poll at 85 to 10%. So that's a pretty strong favor for Liquid. And if you didn't catch it, and I will remind you guys, in recent history, Liquid's record on this map is 7-0-0. So they've never lost it, they've never drawn it recently. And, well, that does bode well for Liquid, but right now, Elevate's looking pretty solid on defense.
Yeah, and it's a lot off of Liquid's own mistakes to kind of dive in. You've been saying their attacks have been excruciatingly slow.
Yeah.
And that does not help them at all. If Liquid are relying a lot on Nesk's entry, and Elevate can find those, then it can definitely bode well for Elevate. You saw the Legion is brought in for this round, so there's a lot more disruption. Makes sense, this is Elevate's response to Team Liquid being so active. You heard a suppressor firing off, and that's the T5 in the hands of the Legion, as the first kill goes the way of Lenda on a PSK. The IQ down, and that means the yokais from Echo are even stronger.
Well, we've seen this a lot. Elevate putting up an early man advantage. And that is going to be crucial when it comes to the actual battles, because the explosive nature of these fights is mostly down to the fact that Liquid spends so much time clearing things out that when they actually get to the site and they try to fight their opponent, it takes, well, 20 seconds because everyone's rushing in all together. Lots of Legion traps being stepped on there from Sexy Cake. He's going to suffer for it. But He's still alive. He's still got his gun up, so he'll be fine. 50 seconds left for Liquid to enter into the site. They haven't cleared out VIP. They haven't cleared out the main lobby. Will and KDS are going to be a persistent thorn in the side of Liquid's attack. Liquid's going to have to hurry the heck up if they want to have any hope here, but I really don't... I wouldn't give them good odds considering that Will and KDS haven't been cleared out. There's no way to push into the site with them there. And if there is, then it would be a mistake on Elevate's part.
There's the soft wall that has been preset. That's part of Elevate's strategy to lure Liquid in. Apollo's going to try to push in from the brown stairs. In the meantime, is there Jaeger here to fight against him? You see the outlines. He's going to peek around and not find anyone just yet. There you go. Very slow in, but he's going to be able to fire down into the bar. They know that there's one player just around their corner, but Lenda's already gotten one. Lenda for two now as Sexy Cake finishes off Hunter. The site is compromised. Sexy Cake's on the floor, and Apollo's the last alive. He's going to save himself as Elevate take yet another round, making it a 3-1.
Oh boy, Milos. Is this feeling a whole lot like Elevate coming in with the upset?
It looks like they've been prepared for this game for sure. Their reactions have been impressive. I mean, they recognize the reason why they lost is because they allowed Nesk to go for the entry on Kitchen with nothing able to stop him on the site. What do? Let's bring Legion.
Yeah.
We put goo mines everywhere.
Stacked Legions.
What would stop you as a 3-speed? Legion, literally the only operator that can really dent you other than you being shot in the head. And that's a great reaction there that adds on top of the fact that the Echo is in and Elevate's ability to somehow grab an early kill, in this case on the AQ, which doubles the effectiveness of the operators that they already brought up for this game. Overall, it's great adaptability. I really have to applaud Elevate for it.
Yeah, the setups from Elevate are pretty good. They are reading into Liquid's attack strategy here and countering it pretty soundly, I should say. The Thatcher ban is crippling Liquid as well. They're very slow with everything that they do, and by they I mean Liquid. The mute in combination with the Thatcher ban is really hurting Team Liquid's attacks here. A mute Mozzie would be even more crippling, but Elevate wants more information. They've brought a Valkyrie Echo, and it would be the Valkyrie that would get rotated out in this situation for a Mozzie. So, yes, Mozzie is info. I understand that, but he's inconsistent. Valkyrie just gives you 3 cameras, and that's that. Mozzie can give you cameras, maybe, but Liquid's not dumb. And they typically don't leave their drones exposed to mute pests. Now, that doesn't mean that Liquid's not going to get 1 or 2 of their drones hacked here and there. It does mean, though, that it's unlikely. So right now, Elevate, with a good setup, smart operator selection, and their actual holds are, I'd say, solid. Liquid are very slow on attack. But is that Liquid's fault? No, not really. It's the fault of a Thatcher ban and the addition of the mute. The droning is slow, which means the clear has to be slow. Liquid needs to start playing with Reckless Abandon and start trying to confront and win gunfights with Elevate if they want to have any hope at winning this, because not only is Elevate bringing a lot of denial, and it's hard to get rid of it, but also Elevate has a lot of information. So if you give Elevate time to capitalize on the information that you as the attacker don't have because it's hard to drone, then you're going to lose most of your fights. So Liquid just needs to fight Elevate. They need to get in and just fisticuffs, and then they'll have a better chance.
That's usually how Liquid end up winning their games or look back at things. But in here, same. Yeah, you're going to have to go through. The big problem is that there's nobody coming in and pushing into white, and yeah, it is too late. Reaction. So KDS is still watching in white, and there's nobody pushing him from behind. So unless you'll see Nesk going for that sort of play, he's going to have a great time, and Hunter in the meantime is actually setting up to protect his team's flank, just because his job is pretty much done at this point. There's nothing more that he can recover, but Soul's going to be the one to snipe off Nesk, who I assume was just sitting on his own inside of Cigar. Sexy Kick, though, on the refrag. For some reason, Soul is pressuring again the Echo. He's going to be dead and lost. Nitro Cell, they're one pre-placed, or is just an mute jammer?
I'm not really. I can't quite hear. I think it's a mute jammer because you hear that beep beep from the C4. But there is a C4 coming
Nitro,
out.
Actually.
Yeah, so it might have been pre-placed. You're right. There it is. Will Insight also has another C4. Liquid's struggling right now, but Moringa will get Will. So at least there's even man count here for Liquid. Elevate, though, they got to be feeling pretty comfortable right this second, as there's not a lot of time left for Liquid to make an execution.
The big advantage, though, that Liquid has is that Capital. If they can use him correctly, they can definitely shut down this round. I'm not sure about that one there, Chief, but Hunter doesn't have a Nitro Cell. He's got to be careful. The Jaeger at any point in time can just push him, and Hunter's watching the doorway. Moringa will find Kitty S. Go for the sight play, and there's the kill from PSK. He's very low on health. And Lenda from the side, he drops one player. Being watched from above. There's Nitro Cell being robbed around the corner. It wins the round. There's no way to recover this. And Elevate, grab it. Oh my god, again. Elevate having all the tools and remembering to use them right on time.
I like to note for the record that it would have been safer for that Thermite to stay on the plant in the corner. He ran towards the C4, but of course he couldn't have known that.
No.
Unlucky for Liquid. I don't. By the way, just for the, also for the record, I don't think he would have survived either way. but no matter what, yeah, Liquid doing a good job of entering the site at the end there, and then they did not account for the last C4 round over. And we go to bar. So Milos.
Yes.
How about that 4-1 over Liquid for Elevate? Did you predict that one?
No. I mean, look.
I think I picked Liquid in this match. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know what your coin toss told you for this one.
Pretty sure I picked Liquid.
Okay, let me see what I can get if I just toss a coin right now.
All right. Okay. Wait. Wait.
What's heads and what's?
I'll call it in the toss. All right. I'm Liquid. Okay. I'm Liquid. And heads. It's tails, guys.
See?
It's actually
Honestly,
tails.
Like,
should I take a picture and tweet it
Yeah.
out? I'll take a picture. It genuinely tails, guys. Hang on a second.
10 seconds.
the timestamp.
Yeah, I got my watch in there.
Honestly, this is how to predict the games. So far, who would have thought? On Kafe, you mentioned the specific advantage that Liquid have going into this game because of their track record, right? Because of how they've been playing recently. But it seems like a lot of teams just fail because Elevate, in this case, are just outplaying Liquid in every way imaginable. They are reading them like an open book. It's a reference also and something to make, to laugh at because the map is named after Mr. Dostoevsky. So here's a double pun for everyone.
So I'm sorry that I let you down, Liquid. I predicted heads, it was tails, and I'm sorry that you're gonna lose the match because of it. I hope that you don't blame me for that. Now, what we are seeing right now is Elevate having a really good defensive half.
Yeah.
And it's, again, worth noting that with the bans right now, I believe that once Liquid switches over to the defending side, they will have a better half. But if Liquid can't salvage this one round, if it ends in a 5-1, then the odds of this being a win for Liquid are very, very slim. We'll see if Elevate's able to lock it out and push us to that 5-1. That would be an impressive feat, to say the least, especially considering the odds going into this match. I don't think anyone actually seriously thought that Liquid would win this.
No, but again, we've seen it so many times in Latin America where one team would just be excellent on defense and then they go to the attacking side and suddenly it's like they never existed. So who knows still? KDS is going to get pushed here, but he's going to win out. One gunfight, two for KDS. Nest and Paulo are down. Well, scratch that off. It's starting to look more like a 5-1, but Sexy Cake will get one. Close to the second here, Moringa. And I don't know how he didn't kill. Lenda has to be counting his lucky stars.
I am shocked that Sexy Cake did not go for, or rather Moringa did not go for a full follow-through on that. KDS will get his third kill. Hunter gets PSK. It's all on Sexy Cake in a 1 versus 4. The coin toss really coming in strong here. I feel so bad about that
Honestly.
now. The 5-1 for the first half as Sexy Cake just lingers at the top of red stairs. He has no hope at winning this round. He'll try for a rush and die in a rush and Elevate. What a good half. Liquid now going to defense will have to go above and beyond in order to recover this match.
At a 5-1, that's way too much when it comes to the defense. Keeping in mind that the only side that Elevate lost was Kitchen, and it's off of Nesk being just 3-speed, I'm going to run and gun and do the work on site, which almost ended in an Elevate victory. Remember, the Echo was still alive at that point. So we could have been staring down at a 6-0 at the half. But Liquid now are on the defense. they're bringing pretty much a similar lineup to Elevate. It pretty much exactly the same lineup that Elevate brought themselves.
Oh, but look at this. Elevate have switched out their Thermite for a Montaigne. I think that's smart.
White hallway take.
Yeah, well, they could do a lot of different things. They could do. They could force their way in through Cigar. They could force their way up White Stairs. They could force their way down the hallway after taking Piano. Montaigne is just one of those operators that makes you. You got choices, you know. You got choices. So I like this pick from Elevate. I think this really plays into the preparedness that Elevate has going into this match because they knew what they were going to confront when they banned Thatcher, and they're like, you know what? We're ready for it. We've got a Montaigne, and we've practiced it. So this is really, really interesting. I like to see stuff like this from Elevate. And the big counters, of course, to keep in mind here are going to be Smoke and Echo for Team Liquid. That'll be what Liquid has to throw at the Montaigne. But Legion would really help in this situation.
Exactly, and this is pretty much as you mentioned. Elevate going for that 6th pick to the Monty throws the strategy off of it from Liquid, but if Elevate are really, really digging their heels into this one, then they'll want to clear bottom up as well with some operators or try to push in from reading to clear the White Stairs. That would allow them to at least pressure anybody that's on White Stairs with the Monty if they chose to go there. And Monty would be really the best way for me to go through there is the White Hallway because there's Nitro cells that you'll have to deal with. And Monty protects himself from the Nitros, doesn't die from them if they're straight into him, but people behind him would be killed.
So, will Liquid be able to win it out on defense? There's a good chance for that, to be completely honest. That's why we're seeing Elevate bringing the Montaigne, is because it is entirely possible to win all of your defenses out here as Liquid and even take the match off of that. So we'll find out. Right now, Elevate have just managed to get to the roof. I've talked about this before. I'd say about 45 seconds is a average time to get to the roof as an attacking team on this map. 30 seconds is really ridiculously efficient, and then a minute is slow. Elevate were kind of slow on getting to the roof, but now they're there. They can start their attack onto the actual building.
Yeah, and there's the Monty. Soul's preparing himself for the deep dive, and there he is, 1 level deep. Lenda's going to be droning in from below, checking pillars to make sure that there's no Nitro cells that can snipe out his teammate as KDS in the meantime. Might be thinking like, oh, they were really slow coming in, but they actually took Piano in the meantime. So Elevate were relatively efficient, but they're going to need to start putting pressure on Liquid before they enter. And the IQ is going to be important for this. If you can snipe up the Yokais, that would be huge. They have spotted one of them. It's around 14 meters down deep. And you see him rotating here, the Echo. Rotating his Yokai away as the Monty's getting ready. This might be looking like a push directly onto the bar. There's claymores that can be set, and Yokai drone is spotted, but you can't really go for the finisher on it there. Nesk is going to go for 1 kill on the Lenda as the diffuser is going to be planted amidst the smoke. PSK with another on a Will, and Sexy Cake finds Hunter. There's the diffuser that's been planted. There's the Nomad charges that are going to go off. Nitro cells will miss their mark as Souls has his shield ready. Sexy Cake is going to rotate his Yokai drone away, try and hit his opponent there in the Monty. KDS is putting as much effort as humanly possible into this from Cigar. There's a Claymore that he can use, but there's the Nomad charge going off. Souls can just stay in the side of the site. Smoke turning around the corner. 2 players actually rushing out into the Monty now, and they're going to be able to connect. The flanks are open, and Liquid will be able to protect this. The wiggle in the back. And wacky inflatable arms.
An impressive retake there from Liquid. The big thing, though, is that Elevate threw too many bodies at the wall. They were trying to cover for the plant.
Yes.
And yeah, you got to do that if you're Elevate. You have to sacrifice some manpower to allow that plant to happen. From the Montaigne in the smoke, absolutely, but way too much. They put like, what, 3 people into trying to cover in, kind of a lemming status, if that makes sense. And then at the end, it was KDS who had to frag out. So, sometimes when you have a Montaigne in its post-plant, that's an unlosable situation. But not when you've got like an Echo in play, a Smoke in play, and so many people on Liquid still alive. So if those people who were just throwing themselves at the enemy on Elevate had managed to get 1, maybe 2 more kills, I think Elevate could have had that, and then we'd have match point.
Yeah.
Or if it was actually post-plant, instead of a Montaigne, someone with a gun, to be honest. And, the Montaigne allowed for the plant to happen in the first place, absolutely. But in that specific scenario, could have done better with pretty much anybody else. Now, Liquid winning their first defense, but it's not over yet. We'll go to Kitchen for the next bomb site. I gotta say, I'm impressed by Elevate for managing to isolate that part of the site at the very least, and actually get the plant down.
10 seconds to insertion.
Apparently the phone time and your time are different. Yeah, because, okay, for people asking, like, why is there a difference between your time and my phone time? Is because my phone always has a few minutes extra because I want to be a bit earlier. I work on German time.
He sets his time on his phone different.
Yeah, even my clock, my wristwatch is around 3 to 5 minutes earlier than the usual,
so
on purpose.
My thing is all just like whatever the default one is, and he sets his ahead, so that is why.
Yeah, that's what happens when you deal with a lot of Germans in your life. You're like, might as well. I'll just add a few minutes here and there, that'll make it easier. We don't work on Brazil time. So, Linda now on the roof, and Paul's gonna find the first one on Will. That's a Nomad eliminated, and another one. That goes the way of Nesk on the KDS. Okay, seems like both teams are kind of not so comfortable on the attacking side, as 2 players lost within the first minute. This is pretty big. Lenda's gonna allow the drone to come in front of him into white stairs.
Bomb located.
And they're gonna scan around. Hunter is gonna be finding a lot of utility, including the Yokais and the Electro Claws, but it's not really gonna be able to do much against him as Lenda's guarding his flank.
Right now, it's looking a lot like Liquid are going to do the same thing that Elevate did on the second half. Again, the only real question is, will that happen? Like, will Liquid be able to do every single round? Or is it just going to be like a 5-1 and then the reverse? So basically, we'd have a draw. If it's a 6-0, Liquid win. If it's a 5-1, we get a draw. And if Elevate get 2 rounds, then they win. But I just don't see them getting 2 rounds at this point. I mean, hey, and I predicted Liquid, so for me, I expect them.
Say?
The coin said that Liquid couldn't win this match.
Thank you, Michael.
I know, yeah.
Respect the coin.
We don't know if that's actually gonna result in a draw or Elevate winning, but you know. No damage to Moringa there, lots of missed shots. Palu won't miss his though, and Souls goes down. So it's now on to Hunter and Lenda in the 2v5. Palu, again, though, on low HP, so this is... That could be a pick at the most, I guess. He's playing inside of Bakery. Very exposed here, but since Elevate doesn't have as much manpower, they can't really drone for themselves, and Palu knows this. He's trying to play based on a lack of information for the attackers.
He cooks the grenade there and just to destroy a shield, but there's still little time left, and he's just going to have to go for the rush. There's a Yokai drone that was spotted, but unable to destroy it, as Hunter will have to enter. There's already smokes that are preventing the attackers from walking in. I'm going to find another kill, but I fear that I might just not be enough. More smokes are going to be tossed in as Sexy gets one of his own, and there's time. Moringa, shotgun to the face. Slenda down, and Elevate lose their second attack. Again, off of early picks. I'm not sure, because we're not able to catch those early picks, unfortunately. So we're not sure if they're happening like on rappels as players are making their way to the building itself, if they're losing those gunfights on stairs.
What we are certain of is that Liquid is putting it back up, going to the 3-5. Will they disobey the coin toss? That is the question. Okay, so that last round, Liquid had a pretty decent roam game. We could tell that because Elevate lost some manpower early on. Then once Elevate started hitting that bomb site, they really didn't have any clear-cut, strategy. They also had lost so much manpower and so much utility that they couldn't open up the bomb site. The vertical pressure that Elevate was pushing out was not worth the manpower that it cost to gain. So while they were bucking from above, they were accomplishing little to nothing. And Liquid managed to wait out in their sight nice and comfortable. We'll go to reading now and ponder the possibility of a flawless, perfect cycle from Team Liquid. It's certainly high up there, I gotta say, based on what we're seeing right now, which is to say everybody's winning on the defense. Got one attack round 1 so far. and it was by Liquid. It was the second round of this match. And I honestly think that one round might be the fateful round, that the only attack round through this whole match, and then Liquid goes on to win it.
That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, based on what we're watching right now. I don't know. Maybe Elevate does something crazy. Maybe they bring Montaigne again and get a reverse plant, and then that works out for them, and they hold it in the post plant instead of losing so much manpower early on that they can't.
I think Liquid, for all intents and purposes, Liquid definitely need to win this before Elevate gets to 6. Liquid need every single point, and good performance throughout the season is going to help you a ton.
Yeah, can we just talk about how right now in Latin America, there's like a 4-way draw for first?
Yeah, and then like at 6, 7, they're at 4 points, and then
Liquid FaZe and NiP have 6 points.
Yeah.
Then we have
5,
BD,
6 are at 4 points.
Yeah, BD, Elevate, MIBR. BD and Elevate have 4. MIBR has 3, and Team 1 has 0. But like at the top, when you have 1 to 3 having the same amount of points, it's crazy. And you know what's really funny? Actually, BD and Elevate are actually not 5-6. They're 5. They're both 5. Because from my understanding, I don't even know how that would work. Because they both have the exact same round count. Sorry, not the exact same round count, but the same round differential and the same amount of points. It's so weird. How does that even work then? Where's the determining factor? They haven't played each other yet.
They did. That was the first game.
They?
It was a 6-6.
Oh, okay, then yeah. Well, no, they drew each other. So
Yeah, see, like, it's even crazier.
I don't even know what that goes down to. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Elevate haven't lost a player yet, and that is something worth highlighting. We're halfway into the round, and there's actually decent control here for Elevate by mining. They might be able to just launch an attack into the site because of this control that they've gained. Hunter getting rid of that information in the hallway is going to be actually just huge for Elevate when it comes to the site take.
You see the Track's last one actually was just used on Brown Stairs. So overall, the utility is being set up correctly by Elevate to force themselves into the site. They can bypass the singular defender that I believe is still upstairs. Now 2 of them now, you can see them, and they might be going for a plant on the A side. It's very difficult to deal with this one since shooting it from above is kind of a nigh impossibility. You can't just use soft destruction when it comes to specifically dining. That's gonna turn the corner and actually keep on firing as it takes down 1, but Hunter on the refrag instantly, pretty much, and dealing with a yokai drone. This is huge. Even though your IQ is dead, you've still done the work of clearing yokais, and there's 30 seconds. Plenty of time to walk into the site, but you're gonna have to deal with 2 players that are actively checking that A bomb site with their guns, and they have soft walls to deal with you, but there's Hunter with 1 kill. He's going to try a few bullets through the wall inside of Reading. Linda will get another one onto Moringa. There's Sexy Cake having to dive on down, and he gets 1 shot onto Linda. Rotating around from Reading, but the diffuser's been dropped on the floor. That's 2 players now down for Elevate. All up to Will. Turns around the corner into White, but there's just not enough time. That's the round for Team Liquid.
Boy, that was a close one, but it was a win for Liquid regardless of how close it came, and that's what's most important. So we inch ever closer to an even round count, the score being 5-4 now. Still favor to Elevate, but it seems like it's going to swiftly change as we just see a flawless cycle out of Liquid. It'll be the top floor again, the bar cocktail lounge, and well, looks like Elevate's really struggling on attack. Go figure that they would struggle just as hard as Liquid did. Surprise, surprise. Who would have thunk it? Honestly, the whole gridlock nomad thing, and then the mute, that's been the staple throughout this whole match, and it is just so stale.
Yeah.
Attackers need to locate
and
defuse as many bombs as they can.
It is.
It's locking up so many potential plays, and the information gathering is so slow. The crazy thing is we're not even seeing the Mozzie, and it's still problematic. Both teams on defense favoring more hard, conventional information operators and denial. You got that smoke being wrought and the Echo. And for Elevate, it was the Echo and the Valkyrie and no smoke. Pretty much, like I said, though, all pretty standard stuff here.
It's not like they're reinventing the wheel, and the operator's definitely there. Elevate changed around the Nomad to bring the IQ in the previous round and in this one. They figured that the yokai drones are definitely a pest and an annoyance, so we'll have to deal with that. But it seems like clearing out pillars and reading is the difficulty. for Elevate. And it was the case even in the previous round where they played on this bar attack side with the Monty, where they just lost players trying to engage and clear for the bottom to allow the Monty to survive and plant correctly. Unfortunately, there was just so much manpower left because all the engagement went Liquid's way that you couldn't really come back from it there, no matter what operator you had.
So, Elevate, so close but so far still. And again, that last round really could have been the end of it. Could have sealed the deal, but not so.
Bomb located by attackers.
Top floor defense, but Elevate's trying to come at it from below. Meanwhile, my co-commentator is dying.
Honestly.
It's not... the air is toxic. It's trying to kill us.
It's like 195 on the pollution scale, and honestly...
Which is high, by the way.
I really feel... Paris...
Like it's the high end of unhealthy.
Yeah, Paris is like listed as an average of like 50, and that's considered not great.
Don't people always complain about the pollution in Paris? Isn't that like a thing? And not even close. Not even close, bro. You don't know. I don't know. Anyway, don't die, Gassan. Don't die. I'm suffering too.
You and me both, buddy.
Yeah, we're in the same boat. Control of piano here for Elevate. And this is actually really good because they're going to be able to thermite their way into the back bar storage as long as there's no Kaid or Mute Jammer there. Now, that is not a guarantee, by the way. There could very easily be a Kaid, and there could be no way for Elevate to deal with that. We'll have to find out as this round progresses because we can't ask for the camera to switch over to. PSK actually looks like has all of his Kaids placed below, which makes it even harder for Elevate to deal with.
You know what I like about what PSK's done downstairs in reading? Is that he put up one of his, one barricade. This is the Canadian way of playing, pretty much, which is you have a barricade to protect your back, but also to give you information when somebody tries to tap it or to push into you. So it really protects your back. Wastes a lot of time. There's Moringa, low on HP. He's still going to fight this one. He's got 2 smokes. Unfortunately, he's going to lose both of them. Souls will be the finisher there. He reaps him. 5v4 as PSK is watching from below with a Nitro Cell in hand. That's still the biggest of deals.
Lots of denial for Liquid, yes, but Elevate is starting to put up these frags as they get their second unanswered kill in a row. With only 25 seconds to go, though, they still need to plant that diffuser, or it's going to be another swift deny from Liquid and a win on time. The Repel-In is punished by Sexy Cake, who possibly still has Yokai drones to deny this plant. Sees one by the bar, but loses the fight to Hunter. An incredible headshot there. Palu will get Hunter, though. The plant is still going down. There's no more Yokai drones to deny. Will get his second. Paulo does answer back, but now he's the last defender on Liquid. Has to retake in the post plant. Souls playing by Cigar / Top Red. KDS also nearby. Liquid and Palu do not know where these attackers are, but there goes Souls giving away his position. Spraying by New Drop. Palu really doesn't have time for this. He needs to take the gunfights, but he's taking the risks, trying to be smart, and it works against him. Elevate will secure 1 point in this match. Team Liquid cannot get all 3. At best, they can hope for a draw, and the coin toss was right.
All hail randomness. And again, in this case, Elevate had so many ways of just defending that plant once it went down. They could have evac'd from a window and went up to the rooftop and watched it from Skylight. They could have just had one other player watching from Red Stairs at the same time, thrown a quick drone on there. There probably is a way to watch through it. So overall, the possibilities were endless. But the fact that they had their openings into Freezer, and I think more importantly, the fact that Hunter got the kill on, I believe it was Sexy Cake playing the Echo, try to peek around that that shield that was placed in between the cocktail bar and the main bar, put it right behind the main bar. Where's the gridlock? And somehow, she won the gunfight. There was little HP left on her, but she had already done her work, and it forced the Nitro Cell from the closet downstairs to be used on her, which did not work. Just doesn't work.
The fatal moment was there, the one that you were highlighting just then. I gotta say, I don't know if Sexy Cake had a Yokai drone that could have denied the plant. I think I saw one by the bar, but I do not know it as a fact, okay? So please don't crucify me if I'm wrong here. But if he had a Yokai drone, he should have tried to deny the plant instead of trying to challenge the player pushing up by the bar. Yeah, okay, you're gonna expect to win that fight against Hunter, but Hunter stepped up.
10 seconds left.
Are you looking at gas masks?
Yes.
We don't need like a military grade gas mask, Gassan. We need like an an air filter or something for our face.
Are you sure?
Something, yeah, like the one that you saw that one time in the store. We should get that. We should honestly get that.
There's ones in the city that we can get, but honestly, we should have gotten like an entire box from Japan.
Yeah, because they have them all over there.
They're so nice. They have like nice patterns on them if you want to buy them.
Yeah, they have actually like really high quality ones just in the store. Like,
Hey,
off
if
the shelf.
there's like any Japanese people that are going to Invitational, could you like?
No, he's kidding.
We're joking.
No, not really. Not because they'll take it seriously. There will be some there. All right, so Elevate right now, match point. The only question is, will Liquid be able to get one out of this, or are Elevate going to be able to walk away with 3? I really want to stress, again, how important points are right now, considering that we have that 4-way draw for first. Liquid is very likely going to fall out of first after today. Assuming one of the other 3 teams that are, tied for it win, then that will be the case. Maybe we'll have draws all through the day.
Who knows?
Anything's possible, but I doubt it. So now it'll happen, guaranteed. So yeah, no. Basically, Liquid have lost their lead today after this. In all likelihood, it's not not a guaranteed thing, but it's just very likely. So it's rough for them. Now we are going to be defending Kitchen here. This is the second time Liquid's doing this. They've won it the first.
There's the air jabs being set. One of them on the red stairs. This time foregoing the gridlock completely. Elevate, as they realized having the buck is definitely the better choice. Gesundheit. Bless you.
Thank you.
And you still want to take control of Train. You want to open up the floorboards as much as you can. It's your basic strategy, really. You're, again, not reinventing the wheel. The metagame remains as it was before. I just see a lot less, if probably no breach charges on Elevate, if I can see things correctly here. Trying to put a bit of pressure from red stairs, but Paulo is still in the walk-in closet there, in the cloakroom. Just going to sit there and wait to push the flank of Elevate.
Yeah, slow going here from Elevate. I think they realize that they've already kind of won. Just getting 1 point. Yeah, okay, 3 would be better, but, a victory's a victory. Palu is going to punish the 2 pushing him from both the red hall and the front door. That's some really good awareness from Palu, but he will die to Souls. That gas canister actually covering Souls' peak. Palu losing the fight because of it. Elevate puts up 2 kills in a row with no answer. Souls is on very low HP, though, and there's only a few seconds left in the round. Sexy Cake, again, put in a position where he needs to deny. I believe he's playing by the big bar. Wherever he is, hopefully for Liquid, he has a Yokai drone in play. He does, by the way. You could see it in the corner there. It's about to use its first charge. The second will come out in a second here, and there you go. Liquid wins off of a Yokai drone. Well played to them. We'll push it to 6-5. And, well played to Sexy Cake specifically. This time, he gets it right. He goes to the Yokai for deny instead of trying to take the fights.
I don't know if anybody spotted it there, but also a Nitro Cell was thrown into their way that would have killed both players, but it was shot midair. So great job there from the Nomad, but unfortunately, you have the 2 charges on the Yokai, and even if, if there's another one or not, it wouldn't have mattered. The work was already done. And Liquid, they're a round away from victory here. Wouldn't it be crazy if we end this game with a 5-1, 5-1?
No.
That's where we've gotten to right now. I think we're pretty darn close to it, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get to it. Liquid seem to have a handle on the defense. Same goes for Elevate. And I don't know if this is specific to the Thatcher that's banned. I think it's definitely many things, including that. And I think a big one is just not being able to clear those players that play wide off of the wings and the flanks of the defense. Like Brown Stairs holding on to that, holding on to the lobby bar, holding on to positions like that, even upstairs in White Stairs, holding on to even the cocktail bar itself. Those positions are what we call power positions because they project power outwards into a site or beyond it and into different floors. In this case, if you see this cocktail bar, this is why Liquid are putting so much effort into it. Elevate, we're doing the same thing because these positions are so darn powerful. Should you hold these, you pretty much have the key to victory in the round. Nesk is going to set up a dive out for later in the round, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went for a direct fight against anybody repelling off of those windows, just because position is so darn powerful that Elevate know they need to pressure the cocktail bar from multiple angles.
All right, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in this match, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll have a final answer as to who is the better team. Probably the answer will be, but we don't know. So we'll find out. Now, Liquid have the standard setup here in terms of operators, Valkyrie being worked in there, so lots of information. KDS is going to have a really big job ahead of him for the Yokai drones and the Valkyrie cams alike. Hunter will get the lead-off kill onto Palu, so that bodes well for Elevate's chances of getting 3 points out of this one. Gridlock putting down some track stingers on the red staircase. And Will double down on that with the air jabs. Sexy Cake rotating his Yokais back to the site after one of the roamers is eliminated. He's not going to take any more risks, which means that Elevate gets a pretty efficient clear of the top floor. Palu and Nesk trying to pressure from the white stairs, so that's the extent of the roam game at this point, which is, you know, it's not very much. Usually you'll hold a little bit more firm in Cocktail, but not so here for Liquid. Actually, oh, I stand corrected. Wow, this is a very top-heavy hold right now from Liquid, and I'm surprised by it. Sexy Cake is in Cocktail. Big risk there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I said that 2 times in one round, rather. C4 will come out from the Mute. It will miss. Mute Jammer, though, preventing the exothermic, so at least there's that from Moringa. It's a big moment there. You need to deny that exothermic opening up the wall to make it easier to hold up the site, especially when you have 3 roamers upstairs. Yokai drones, of course, on the site, so there's a slight presence on site for the Echo, at least. I have a feeling like Elevate's setting themselves up for disaster right now because they haven't cleared upstairs and they're trying to push into reading. That usually results in a loss for the attack, especially in a situation like what we're seeing unfold right here.
Did they take the thermite charge off the wall?
Yeah, because it was muted.
Might as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, 45 seconds left, you're not going to clear that top floor. Liquid are going to stick here for the rest of the round, and they're going to be playing white stairs as well to fight against you, and this is why we were talking about it. It's so difficult to deal with. Sexy Cake is going to get 1 kill, and Will is going to enter. Unbeknownst to him, Sexy Cake is right around the corner, actually. They're literally passing one another, and as everybody's dying around their teammates, it seems like the only one that can grab a kill is Will here on this assault. Unfortunately, it was too little too late, and with 15 seconds left, the wall is still not open as the Mute Jammer is still on the floor. They're going to go for the plant regardless. Nitro Cell, no, it doesn't even matter. BSK's already gone 1 kill, but they're going to go for Will, push him directly with all manpower left. Team Liquid victorious in round number 12, and this is what we were talking about. Hold on to Cocktail, and you'll be just peachy fine. A draw, 6-6.
And
the coin has spoken.
The coin has spoken indeed. Nice try for Liquid, but you just can't beat fate. Now, that was... what's the word?